Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Happy Father's Day and welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, your life hasn't been easy lately. So what does that have to do with not winning at weight loss? Plenty. We'll explain. Then it's Dad's Day. We'll share photos of fathers who have new reasons to smile. Your parents need help at home, but you can't constantly care for them. We'll offer options. Plus, we'll check in on how to prepare for your next checkup. And you've put your power of attorney into place, but want protection from enacting it too early. We'll provide peace of mind.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. There's been a big change in your life, and now there's been a big change in your weight. What does the first have to do with the second? According to Dr. Noel Abood, plenty. Dr. Abood is here to weigh in on this particular kind of weight gain. Dr. Abood is with the Soul and Spine and Wellness Center. Welcome back to the show. So what kind of life changes are we talking about?
You know, invariably what we see is after the birth of a child, after an illness, maybe a divorce, you know, the loss of a job, some emotional or physical trauma, it seems like the body goes into like a shock. And for example, the average person will say, I've been going along well, then after my child was born, I just can't lose weight. I only eat 1,200 calories, but I still hold on to weight. Or ever since my divorce, or ever since my job loss. It seems like the body gets locked into a protective mode where it wants to hold on to stored fat and not let go of it.
Okay, well, nobody wants that kind of trauma, but it can't always be avoided, you know?
Right.
So if it throws us off balance, how do we get back in balance?
That's the challenge, and that's what we found out is it's truly a balance. It's not anything that you, the patient, can control. It's a chemical imbalance. We found when the hormones or the neurotransmitters or some sort of biochemical imbalance causes our body to do this. So the new testing, it's been out and it's so remarkable. It's called NRF technology, and what it does is we're able to, using technology, determine what's causing your body to hold fat, what's causing your biochemistry to be haywire. In the past, we could do a blood test and that would say, here's a clump of things that are off. Now, the technology allows us to say 5 parts of this, 2 parts of this, 3 parts of that, so we can give you a recipe that addresses those specific issues.
Wow, to get them all back together again. So now once you know what's going on the inside by this testing, how do you use that to make the change on the outside?
Well, what we do is it's a 9-week program, but the initial 40 days is where we give you this recipe. We're able to put it in drop form. We do all the formulation for you. All you do is put it in 24 ounces of liquid and drink that throughout the day, along with the food plan that we're on. You need to check in to our office every week for a weigh-in. We want to make sure you're losing fat, not muscle, not water, anything else. It's very controlled. And then every day, actually, the patients text me or one of my assistants, and they tell us what day they are on the program, how much they've lost, and the difference from the day before, because we can see patterns developing before they may be able to.
And to make sure they're eating the right foods and everything is going the way it's supposed to. So,
right.
How much weight can you lose in that beginning stage?
In 40 days, if we're truly in fat burning, if our biochemistry is balanced, the average woman loses between 25 and 35 pounds.
Wow.
The average male even more. Some less, some more, but that truly is our average.
That seems like a lot of weight very fast. Isn't that like putting the body through another kind of trauma?
But that's what we love about technology, is it's once the body is balanced and the biochemistry is balanced, the body knows what it needs to lose. But the way that we prove it is their blood sugars are balancing, their cholesterol levels are balancing, their blood pressure is balanced, so we know that that's good for the body.
And they can keep it going then when they're all done.
Right. The testing that we do initially gives them the tools that will say, here's the foods that resonate best with your body, and they can use that throughout the rest of their life.
That's fantastic. If a trauma has you tipping the scales, you can dial back those numbers with a personalized plan, one that rebalances your biochemistry. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Abood for joining us.
Find out more by calling Solon Spine and Wellness Center at 440-669-0050 or log on to www.slendersolon.com. Next, focusing on fathers. But first, all dads and daughters have a special bond, but only one duo has the record of tapping the top spot on Billboard's pop music chart. Can you name the two who kept a chart-topping tune all in the family? We'll sing out the answer when we return.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
In 1967, Old Blue Eyes and Daddy's Little Girl, also known as Frank Sinatra and his daughter Nancy, were delighted their duet was a smash single. Now, are you smart enough to name that tune? Its title was Something Stupid.
Moms rightly receive honors and accolades, but dads deserve attention too. Today, in honor of Father's Day, dentist Steve Marsh will share stories of delivering beautiful smiles to top pops, right?
Right, Laura. You know, when it was Mother's Day, we did the thing about mothers, and my mom was a teacher. It helped to honor her. My dad was a dentist, so in order to honor him, I thought we'd talk about fathers who've come in with different issues. You know, it's funny, oftentimes people say your dad was a dentist. Did you ever practice together? Unfortunately, when I was in the Air Force doing a residency in dentistry, like he did in the Army in dentistry in World War II, I got some more experience. So we never practiced together. We missed by a few months. He had gotten sick in the last few years of his practice. So when I moved back to Cleveland after my Air Force stint, I got to come in with a nucleus of patients that he had seen that waited for me.
That's nice.
But
he must have been proud of you, though.
You know what? It's a great thing. My mom once brought him when I was in the Air Force. Brought my dad to watch me work, and when he walked out, he had a big smile in the middle. And I said, "Are you okay, Dad?" And he said, "I'm just really proud of you." And that moment will always stay in my mind.
So you got stories about other dads, though, on this Father's Day that got great smiles after some treatment.
Yeah. So on Mother's Day, we focused on women who came in and had some work done. Most of people who were self-deprecating. In this case, we wanted to talk about dads. And there's stories behind each of them. So here's a patient who came to me. He had worn a partial denture, Lori, and partials in the old days, again, these are people mostly 50 and older. He had a partial that went in and out. And he said at this point of his life, he said, "I'm tired of it. I don't like my smile." In this case, his wife brought him in and said, he's ashamed of it. Half the time he doesn't wear the partial. What else can you do? And in this case, we did a permanent bridge. Today, even without metal, we have a wonderful material called zirconium, and we did a permanent bridge all the way across that open space. On the top, again, the zirconium is a very strong material, no metal, no dark lines. People are very proud of it. And on the lower teeth, we did some reshaping, and then we went in and put some porcelain veneers. Porcelain veneers can be used in a case like that. Another patient who came to me with partials, and the picture on the left the viewers can see, he came in with the partials out. They were very uncomfortable. Partials are those replacements that go in and out, and they had metal hooks in the old days. I talked to him about partials today, and the span was too long for fixed work, and he wasn't a candidate for implants. So again, we made a new type of partial, and this is called a Flexite partial. It's flexible plastic. There's no metal in it. You can put it up and down. In this case, he had an upper and lower one made. If you look at it, it looks like his natural teeth. We gave him a beautiful smile line. Thank you. And very, very comfortable. So this patient was in politics, very well known, pretty prominent, and said one of his problems is when he meets with people, he doesn't smile. And his wife encouraged him for years, and actually because of golden opportunities, he came in to see me. We sat down, we looked at options, and like the first patient we showed you, he said he would like to have something permanent. So again, we were able to do first a wax prototype so we could show him what we thought we could achieve. You see those teeth were very far apart, and he wanted that space closed. It was a family tradition, but he said he was tired of it. So we went ahead and did a permanent bridge, again that zirconium, with a beautiful porcelain breakdown. So we talked about partials. This is a really interesting story. That's called a flipper. This patient went for years with that going in and out,
that would be uncomfortable, I would think.
Uncomfortable, and actually in business saw a lot of people, again, wouldn't show it. His wife, again, the wife brings the husband in and said, I want his teeth taken care of. So you can see that before. There's the during with the partial out. And somewhere we should have an after picture, and there he is afterwards. Goodness. All porcelain work, again, no metal, beautiful result, something he doesn't have to take in and out, and said it was one of the most important things he ever did for himself, and he was thrilled that his wife brought him in. And he said it was really life-changing after taking care of 5 kids in orthodontics. Now he took care of
himself.
Himself, yes.
That's great. So, over the years, your father has focused firmly on you. Now it's time to indulge your dad. Give him the gift of a never-ending smile. And for help, give Steve a call. His number's next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, there's no place like home. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Our great American pastime has helped many minorities play ball. Now you can discover how baseball added to their identity in the exhibit Chasing Dreams, Baseball and Becoming American, currently on display at the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage. To score the details, call 216-593-0575 or hit this website, www.maltzmuseum.org.
All your parents want to do is stay in their own home, and you're doing all you can to help. Still, because you care, you're worried that your efforts may not just be enough. There are options available to assist you in allowing your parents to age in place. Jenny Aherns is here with details. Jenny is the co-owner of Lighthouse Senior Assistance. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Lori.
So beginning, what are the signs that our parents, or maybe even ourselves at some point, need help if they're going to stay at home?
Well, there are definitely things that you can start to notice when things start to become a challenge at home for your parents. Things like you check the refrigerator and you're noticing spoiled or outdated food that isn't being thrown away. You might notice some weight loss, might be an indicator that they're not eating properly. You might notice that there's a little bit of a decline in their attention to personal hygiene or grooming. And sometimes that's because of forgetfulness, and sometimes it can be because of fear. People who have a loss of balance might have a fear of getting in and out of the tub or in and out of the shower. Right. One of the biggest indicators you may notice in your own self, and that is that you might be feeling very overwhelmed and frustrated because little by little you have slowly taken over all of the responsibilities that your parents used to handle for themselves.
And that's a hard thing, but they're adamant about staying at home, you know? So what options are there?
Right, well, that's where non-medical home care can be very helpful, because the caregivers through a non-medical home care company can come in and help with all of that day-to-day stuff, like the light housework, the laundry, help with meals. They can do medication reminders. They can run errands and do grocery shopping, help with personal care and grooming, and some companies even offer transportation.
Wow, okay. So there is a lot of help. That sounds really great. But these are our parents, you know, how do we know that the person we're bringing into their house is really a good caregiver?
Right, well, you definitely have to ask some questions of the company that you're considering. I tell people to ask about their hiring process. Find out who does the interviewing and who makes the hiring decisions. Is it somebody who has a vested interest in the quality of care that's provided? The other thing is to ask about the screening process. There should be a very thorough screening process. I know in our organization we call references. We do a 3-part very thorough background check. They have to pass a drug test. They have to show proof of negative TB test, and they also have to go through a training program.
Okay, when they're first starting out in
Yes.
this, huh? Okay, that's non-medical care, but how do we know when it's turning into the need for medical type care?
Right, well, medical care always requires a doctor's order, but what we find is the caregivers that are in the home day in and day out with your parents become very familiar with their situation, and oftentimes they notice when things are starting to change, so they become the eyes and ears of the family. And they can let the family know when a doctor needs to be contacted and some other help might need to be brought in.
Is there help too in trying to find that next level of care for parents?
Sure. You know, we try to be a great resource to our clients and their families as well. And when the decision is made that it might not be in the best interest of mom or dad to remain in the home, we can help support them through that process and help guide them through finding the right facility.
Sounds great. So your mom and dad took care of you for years. Now you want to care for them, but you just can't do it all on your own. Non-medical home care may be the help you need to allow them to age in place. Have questions? Give Jenny a call. The number's next.
For more information, call Lighthouse Senior Assistance at 330-673-3933 or click to www.lighthouseseniorassistance.com. Next, doctor's orders. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're here to show you how to work the lower abdominals and even the hip flexors. This is an excellent exercise. It's going to help strengthen that core everybody's talking about. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we're going to start lying flat on the ground. Here in the studio, we have our exercise mats out. You at home, go ahead, grab a spot on the floor and try this one out. We're going to lay flat. Make sure you keep your head back. We want our hands to the side just for a little support. And all we're going to do is we're going to keep our right leg nice and stiff, and we're going to bring it up to about a 90-degree angle, okay? We're going to drop it back down. Right before it touches, try to bring it straight back up. All right, we're going to shoot for 12 to 15 repetitions, and then we can go ahead and switch sides. Excellent. How you feeling, Lori?
Oh, feel the burn.
There
Stretch,
you go.
Yes.
You're on your way to a stronger core. All right, slow and controlled movements, everybody. Remember to breathe. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
Cancer. The word still strikes fear into our hearts. But over the years, so much has changed in the treatment and the longevity of those with this diagnosis that there is reason for hope. Dr. Benjamin Lee is here to tell us how cancer care has changed and what to expect in the future. Dr. Lee is the physician director of the Cancer Care Center at Metro Health. Cancer Care Center, you know, that's something that's developed kind of recently. What does that mean?
An academic cancer center has three missions. The first mission is to provide the best evidence-based medicine that cancer patients deserve. The second is to discover new things, to learn how to treat cancers better. And the third mission, of course, is to teach the next generations of care providers for cancer patients.
Are there certifications you have to get?
Yes, we are proud to say that at Metro Health, we have received a certificate award for our cancer center and has gotten commendations from the Commission on Cancer. And we are also one of the designated breast cancer centers by the American College of Surgeons.
That's great. So today treatment doesn't seem as toxic, I guess, as it once was. Why is that?
Yeah, fortunately, through research, we have become more knowledgeable about cancer and the way we tackle it. For example, a lot of designs of new molecules against specific targets in cancer cells, so that these therapies are now more successful at killing the cancer cells while not harming the normal cells, so there are less organ damage and less side effects.
Okay.
Even using the old chemotherapy that we have that have been successful, we're now better at characterizing which patients will need them through genetics and protein profiling, as well as learning to dose them better so that they have less side effects.
Oh, that's great. And people are living longer with the diagnosis. So does that have also other challenges with the treatment?
That's a great question. You know, in 1975, less than half the patients were alive at 5 years. Today, More than 2/3 of them are alive. The good news is their highest survival. But we in cancer care have not paid as much attention to the survivorship. And so one of the things that we need to do better, and we continue to discover ways to, how to get patients back to a functional state, back to a happy, meaningful, high quality of life. And that's a big part of the efforts at the Cancer Center at Metro Health.
So that might mean rehab or support and things like that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, when a person receives a cancer diagnosis, what should they be looking for in deciding where to go for treatment?
Another excellent question. So I strongly believe that, above all, first and foremost, that institution has to have genuine, caring culture. Everyone should be committed to the mission of taking care of the patient, and that's the first and foremost priority. After that, we gotta make sure that we follow evidence-based cancer care. In addition to that, the institution should be committed to discover new knowledge so that we can treat patients better, as well as train the next generation of cancer care providers.
So as they're picking a place, they don't have to be hopeless. There is hope.
There is plenty of hope.
That's fantastic. If you're given the bad news of a cancer diagnosis, the good news is that today's treatments and cancer care are the best they've ever been, and even better options are on their way. My thanks to Dr. Lee for sharing this positive prognosis with us today.
Thank you.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or visit their website, www.metrohealth.org. Next, FYI, you need another POA.
Here, we're improving the health of our community. Here, a student sees a doctor without ever leaving school. Here, a stroke survivor regains the use of his right hand. Here, a foster child gets the consistent care he deserves. Here, and here, we're breaking new ground every day. So we can break ground here tomorrow. Be a part of the Metro Health transformation. It's good for everyone. Here.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back to tell you a way to power up your power of attorney. The sun is shining, the flowers are blooming, and I'm sure you've got all your spring cleaning done now that summer is officially upon us. But you may have missed a spot. Spring cleaning your estate planning by including a springing durable power of attorney. To spring all this information upon us is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
Welcome back. Now, you've previously talked about powers of attorney before, but today you're specifically going to talk about one kind, a springing durable power of attorney.
There are many different types of powers of attorney. Last time we talked about something called an immediate power of attorney. Now I'm going to talk about a springing power. Just going to focus on that, springing power of attorney.
So, obviously, first question, what is a springing power of attorney?
Well, it's a power of attorney executed just like a normal power of attorney, but it's only effective on certain events, maybe some certain date in the future or some contingency or your incapacity. So let me give you an example. For example, let's say you're going on vacation this summer. You're going to be out of town in September. So you sign a power of attorney, it's only effective in September, or becomes effective in September. Or you sign a power of attorney that's only effective if you become incapacitated. Otherwise, you can't use it.
Okay, so why do I want to wait until I'm incapacitated for that power of attorney to actually become effective?
Well, anytime we meet with clients and they want to sign a power of attorney, we tell them it's a really important and powerful document People can do a lot of good with it, but they can do a lot of bad with it. Every now and then you'll see it on the news. So some people are just uncomfortable giving someone complete control of their assets, so we have them sign a springing power that's only effective if someone determines they're incapacitated, and therefore, while they're okay, in good shape, they can't use the power of attorney to the person they give the power to.
Okay, so as long as you're still okay, you can take care of your own assets and financial affairs.
That's right.
But when you do become incapacitated, how does this springing power spring into effect?
Well, there are a lot of different ways. The most typical way to do it is you put in the document that says that you have to have a doctor determine in writing that you're incapacitated. Once the doctor signs that letter, whoever has the power of attorney can take that letter and go to the bank or whatever financial institution or sign other documents on your behalf.
Okay, so this allows you really to regulate when and how your person you've named as power of attorney can actually take actions.
That's right, it exactly does that. So if you're concerned about these issues, then you use a springing power to decide when and how someone can use the document.
Okay, any words of advice for somebody who's interested in something like that?
Well, sit down with, against forms off the internet, I gotta tell you, but sit down with somebody and really understand what the document says. Sometimes people sign legal documents, they have no clue what the document says. If you'll read it, I mean, it's a broad document, it gives a lot of different authorities, and you have to be comfortable with that. It's very important to understand what you're signing.
All right, always good advice on that.
Right.
It's important to have a power of attorney as part of your estate planning. But instead of giving someone immediate access to your assets, you may want to keep control until you're incapacitated. A springing power of attorney can do that. Need more details? Give Mike a call. The number's coming up next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, we'll wade into the problem of water scarcity and how we can tap into improving this important issue. Summertime and the eating is easy. We'll feast on dishes designed with warm weather in mind, and we'll prescribe ways to help you stay healthy. But until next week, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.